So you're building the team. What's the next goal for the next 12 months? What's a big accomplishment that you're looking to do?
Well, I'm due with baby number 3 in January, so that's
congratulations.
a little goal, I guess. Halfway today, actually. So we find out this week if it's a boy or girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very excited about that.
Any preference?
No preference. I think it's a girl, but we already have one of each, so it's not, not a deal breaker by any means.
No, that's awesome.
So other than that, obviously keep growing the team, the agents that are on the team, help them be successful. They're all still new enough that they probably won't be ready within the next 12 months to go off on their own, but just building their success and, helping them through all the different things we get to navigate in this lovely industry. But other than that,
they came in at a very interesting time.
For sure. Yeah. And that's what I try to remind them, this isn't necessarily, a normal market. Exactly. It may be the new normal. I don't know that yet, but from when I started or even a few years ago, it just seems like definitely, pretty much since COVID, it's just been off the charts. I remember when I first started, it was like, oh, you want to see a house? Okay, let's schedule it for this day and time. And everything's great. And now it's like, you see that listing pop up. If you're not there tonight, it's going to be gone.
Yeah. So. It's interesting because I was listening to a training last week, and it makes total sense. But I guess sometimes you're listening to things and it's like hit you right in the forehead. I mean, even since I've been in the business in 2011, I've only known a market that's been moving up. Right. Like I personally, in the last 11 years, haven't experienced even a down or, and I don't consider this to be a dip, but, I haven't really experienced anything else other than the market getting better.
Yeah.
But what I do know is when I got in 2011, just learning how to navigate the foreclosures and the short sales and, and it has done wonders for me as far as being open to doing real estate different ways. And even like right now, like before it was sign in the yard, sold in 24 hours. Right. And now it's like, hey, you might have to start dialing in how you handle pictures and how you do coming soons and how you do open houses and what's your marketing strategy and pricing, right? Pricing is a strategy.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just pick a price and it's going to sell for 20 grand more. Right. And all of that matters. And, I stole this term, but I heard it from my coach who got it from someone else. But, I think this summer, we were saying the summer of skill, this is a time to really dial in the fundamentals, the skills that it needs to be that expert, real estate agent or that expert advisor.
Yeah.
What's an accomplishment that you're looking to do in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years. I don't know that I have any big goals. Like I definitely don't want to be a broker. That's been something my husband has mentioned before. I don't want to be that level of responsibility. I enjoy having the team and, caring for them and, guiding them. But as far as a broker, I wouldn't want to do that. So I would say just continuing to, grow my business each year, myself, as well as the team. Each year, the sales have increased, the sales volume has increased. So, I can't ask for anything better than that. And then just, growing the team, keeping that great atmosphere, among the team members, and then continuing to be involved in the community, and then, continuing to grow my family. We're shooting for 5. So
oh, wow.
We'll see, every couple years. That's kind of our goal. We're having baby number 3 in January. So over the next 5 years, I guess we'll make it or not.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. What do you think you'll need to do or put in place for your business in order to kind of stay on that, upward trajectory?
Yeah. So I would say one thing that I'm trying to encourage my team as well as myself is just to get into a little bit more of new builds. We've met with a few different builders in the area. We don't have necessarily that huge, list of people who are building. So I know there are several agents who really succeed with that. And it's like almost like a second income stream. So I'd love to see myself and my team just get more involved with new builds and being able to have that in our tool belt, to be able to increase sales price, volume, that kind of stuff. I know some of the builders even give away like a vacation if you sell, a certain number of homes with them. So things like that are really cool. And I think would be an incentive for the team, and just, trying to use that, like the 12-week year is a book that I read too. And I've done some challenges with the team with that, and, just little things like that can encourage them and motivate them on a smaller scale.
Are you big on reading?
Kind of, not crazy, but, I would say I don't necessarily read for pleasure as far as, like
right.
fiction. I'm reading real estate books. But.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think you're right. I think, I guess my other question is, are you on the Builder to Realtor Facebook group?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, anytime you get one of the new agents, get them on there. But honestly, partly why I created that was because I didn't have new builds as a piece of my business. And I just got frustrated with trying to, one, it not being a piece of my business, two, having to Google where communities were. I felt as if I was my own client, trying to find all of this stuff, and then, really track down what reps and what community and what builders in this, school district or yada, yada, yada. But,
right.
The one thing that I love about our market and our builders, and the majority of the builders, where it's not the case in other markets, is the ability for that they allow us to market their product. And I tell agents all the time, you can either increase your income one of a few ways, right? We can charge more commission. We can have a higher sales price. We can charge transaction fees, whatever the case may be. But this is a way with new builds and new construction to be pretty intentional with your marketing and who you want to work with. Like, I don't want to work in Grove City. I live in Pataskala. Our office is in Westerville, but I could market Westerville, New Albany, Sunbury, right? Pataskala, Johnstown, all of the other areas if I wanted to focus on that. And that's my lead generation magnet. So I think the new construction community for us is awesome in Central Ohio because of that opportunity.
They're beautiful homes. I mean, who wouldn't want to buy one of them,
Yeah. Well, and it solves the problem that the majority of agents have. And the majority of agents have is we don't have listings, right? We don't have consistent listings. And what the new build and the marketing can provide is the optics that we have listings, right? Because it doesn't necessarily have to show up on the MLS. Social media is a way for you to market those, right? And it looks like you have those. Now, you can't say this is my listing and all those other things, but by you just posting about those, like, that's the way to generate the buy side business, right? And then depending on the price point, being strategic and intentional, if it's a $500,000 listing, well, guess what? They're probably selling, right? So now you're going to be getting a seller and a buy side deal. So that's awesome that you're kind of diving into that.
Yeah, I think that's what I tell, with the team members too. It's, posting about your success, like, not to be conceited or anything like that, but promote yourself. People they see that and they want to work with you. They want to work with someone successful. Like, all the time, I'll run into someone at the store in town or at the farmer's market or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're doing so great this year. Like, all I see is you're posting all these, you've sold all these houses and all this stuff. And it's like, people enjoy that. They are happy that I'm successful. They want to work with someone successful. So, encouraging the team. Sometimes they're like, well, I feel like a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to sell myself. And I'm like, but you're not. You're just promoting, hey, look, I did this. Like, that's so cool. People want to encourage you. They want to clap for you. They want to be there. They want to be part of it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I got one question that's not on here, so this may throw you for a loop. But I thought this question was interesting when it was first asked to me by Mike Doyle, who's a good friend of mine and a fellow real estate agent. But he was reading a book. I can't remember what it was. But
I have to think of it and send it to me.
But the question was, a lot of times we're asked 1-year goal, 5-year goal, 10-year goal, 15-year goal, whatever. what's your 100-year goal? What's your legacy? What's your legacy goal? That's how I will phrase it. What's the legacy goal?
That is a great question. I would say, for me, it's more about building something for my family. That's something my husband and I talk about a lot. He has a lot of his own businesses too. But also just, I guess, working with my family too. So my mom is licensed. We worked together, for the last year. And then my sister, she'll be turning 18 next year. So she, her plan is she's going to get licensed and join the team too. So being able to work together with both of them, I think is going to be really fun and really cool. But as far as a legacy goal, I would say that's a great question. That's definitely something to think about.
I've been meaning to put it onto my
yeah, no, that's,
but it's one of those ones where it's like, man, like we talk about it, but we don't really like in depth think about, what do we want our name to be, or what's that legacy that we want to leave behind?
Right. I mean, I don't necessarily think I'm going to be selling houses when I'm 130, so that'll be interesting. But I would say, longer term goals is kind of more putting my money in other places. So like, I have a couple rentals, things like that. I'm very interested in like the Airbnb side of things and, like having a vacation rental, stuff like that. But I love real estate, personally and professionally. So having rentals and, all that kind of stuff, although sometimes it's not so glamorous, it's been a lot of fun and I enjoy that side of things too. So my husband, he's kind of getting into developing a little bit. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays into, my business. But we're building a house for my mom right now on our property. So she'll be closer to us and the kids.
Nice.
And, going through that experience with him, getting the permits, getting everything lined up. He's GC'd it himself. So that's been really cool to, go through with him, and maybe that'll take off somewhere. I don't know. But I would say, looking back at the new builds, I've had quite a few people do more of the on your own lot construction versus, the community existing home kind of thing that's going on right now, which is pretty cool. But so, just, I guess, looking into those different avenues and potentially, my brother-in-law right now is living in Michigan. So I've thought about getting my license there, or, different things like that. Maybe for Florida might be a better location to get a second license in versus Michigan. But, maybe expanding, getting licensed in another state and kind of building a team here and there and having that, 2 different locations could be cool. So
yeah. No, that's awesome. I knew
I'll keep you updated.
I knew I threw you for a curveball on that one.